Hey Aggies, it's Chancellor May and Lachelle, and it's time for Thursday Thoughts. We're at the Internship and Career Center, which is located on the second and third floors of historic South Hall. The ICC provides so many amazing services, including one-on-one career advising appointments, drop-in peer advising on Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., document review, employer events, on-campus interviews for credit career courses, and career facts. In fact, they've now got a winter internship and career fair coming up next week on February 22nd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the University Credit Union Center, the UCU Center, with more than 100 companies already registered. So we encourage you to check it out and come out and get some jobs. Now let's get to your questions. I'll go first.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts on the importance of internships?
Okay. Very important.
Very important. I agree.
Well, this is a true story. So I wouldn't have met you if I didn't do an internship. Here's why.
Thank God for internships.
I know. I did the internship. I did an internship when, as an undergrad at Digital Equipment Corporation, which then was bought by so many other people.
None of our students know who that is.
This is eons ago.
Yeah.
And so my best friend, who I did the internship, was Lorna.
Lorna, who introduced us.
And then Lorna introduced us.
So if you hadn't done that internship,
I would have never met you.
You wouldn't have known Lorna, and she wouldn't have introduced us.
Well, how about that?
Well, that seems like a reason in and of itself, students, to do an internship because you may meet your future partner, spouse, mate.
But as a result, my internship paid for my graduate's studies.
I was about to say, other than those social reasons, there are some real other
Right.
critical, concrete reasons why you should have an internship. It can help you pay for school. It differentiates you in the marketplace from other students from other universities who may not have had internships and had that job experience. So it's really important for your career, at least for the beginning of your career. And I think it also gives you a chance to apply what you've learned in class, recharge your intellectual batteries after a long year of classes and all those sorts of things. That's what it did for me. So there's no reason not to do internships. You should definitely do one.
Yeah. Do you have any interns?
I do not have interns. We have student assistants in the Office of the Chancellor and Provost, but I know you've had interns at CNN.
Oh, yeah. I helped start the internship program
at
Warner Media from the beginning.
Okay.
So we have a cohort. So it's nice. If you can find a cohort, that would be great, because then all the students are the same age and they can talk to each other and discuss different things about their internship. So we take cohorts every summer.
So you'll have some this coming summer.
That's right. And we do about 10.
Okay.
And then they plug and play in different parts of the company.
Okay.
Depending on the skill set.
Yeah.
So,
So if, say, some of our computer science students or another major wanted to work for CNN, you could hook them up.
Well, here's the hard part. We do take them locally. So
they have to be in Atlanta?
Yeah, because housing and different things like that.
Okay.
So that's another important part of internship. Make sure the intern provides housing if you're not local. That can be, something to think about as well.
Is.
I had to pay for my housing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that reminds me, you want paid internships. Because
right.
not all internships are, for engineers, we were engineers and everything was paid. We just assumed they were paid for everybody, but that's not the case. So you want to look for paid internships for sure.
And if you can't find one, any internship will help with your career path, I think. Yeah.
All right, my turn. Oh, you already answered this one. Did you have an internship in college? Mm-hmm. You had the best internship ever because it led to you meeting me.
Of course.
I also had internships. I actually was a co-op, something called cooperative education. And what that means is I would alternate work and school quarters throughout my entire, for me, was 5 years of undergraduates because of the alternating of work and school. So I had 6 or 7 work quarters.
Right.
I worked for McDonnell Douglas Corporation in my hometown of St. Louis, and then for AT&T Bell Labs, my last quarter or last 2 quarters. So.
Yeah. I also have to say, the ICC may not be the only place you can acquire an internship. I actually got my internships through an organization, an affinity group.
Through NSBE?
Through NSBE.
National Society of Black Engineers.
So you may find opportunities other places
through your student
as well.
Organizations.
Like if they have a conference. And
IEEE if you're an electrical engineer, or SWE if you're in the Society of Women Engineers, or other student organizations that are not engineering oriented also have those opportunities. So.
Yeah. What is something that you look for in an employee?
Well, you certainly want employees to be bright and have the requisite talents for the job.
Right.
But I also look for people who are take initiative or self-starters, and you don't necessarily have to tell them what to do all the time. You sort of give them the broad parameters of an assignment, and they go take that and run and get it done. And they also look for things to do on their own that can improve whatever the project is. So
Yeah.
yeah. How about you?
Well, one who's had an internship. Speaking
There
of
you
it,
go.
it's always a plus.
That's kind of chicken and egg. So if they don't have an internship, they can get in there. Can't get an internship.
No, that's not
Yeah.
true. I'm just saying. But if they do have one, it does make the onboarding process easier because they're accustomed to your environment and such, and and the list goes on and on.
That just makes the broader point that job experience is important.
Right.
So,
right.
so
yeah.
I think that's
But in general, I agree with you. The go getters and but a person could be shy too. So
yeah. But you look for leaders too. I
Yeah.
think people that have been leaders in clubs and organizations or other things like that are
Right.
those are traits that that are
Yeah.
attractive to employers. So I think that was our last question.
Yep.
So that was it for this week, Aggies. We'll see you next week, and until then, stay healthy, stay safe. Go Aggies.